web API is made for computers to be able to communicate between each other in a standardized way. All right, we'll dive right into it. So this question is kind of hard because API means so many different things for so many people. So what I'm gonna choose now is to limit this question a little bit to talk about web APIs. And that's usually what people mean anyway. So, but there are a lot of different types of APIs. But web APIs, they are what you can say. The best way to describe them is to compare them to an ordinary website for human beings. But instead of having all different logos and menu alternatives and nice colors and typefaces and all of that, an API is really just the basic stuff. And an API, a web API, is made for computers to be able to communicate between each other in a standardized way. So, for example, when you go to the tax office and you have their tax logo and you have a login where you log in with your bank ID and things like that. And then you could see your tax returns and you can enter different information. All of that needs a lot of user interface. But if the tax office would have an API, the only thing they would have is just simply, this is your tax return. Here is your information you want to send in. So it's very limited and very basic, and it's standardized, so it's always going to look the same. So even if an API, even if a website changes colors and logos and things like that, an API is designed so it's not going to change as often, which means that every computer that is connected to this will always get the same result. And so that's why you have this very important to have standards for different APIs. So I don't know if that was an easy way to understand, but that's the usual description I
Uh,
give to
and
people.
I think that's one of the issues that I noticed having been part of an API-driven company at Roaring, for example. There's very few parables used to explain APIs in a simple way for a person who's not very technical or educated within this space. One of the ones I found early on was the waiter communicating orders between the dining room of the restaurant and the kitchen, sort of like an intermediate communication thing. In your opinion, what's the best way to explain or sort of dumbify what APIs really are for someone who's like me, not really technical?
Yeah. So yeah, I would say it's a website for computers. So a computer can have one standardized way to communicate with another one. And remember that the phone that we have in our pockets, these are also computers. So that's kind of the most used way for let's say for example an app to communicate with a server. That's usually done through an API. So the backend, the things that the apps are communicating with, those are usually APIs. So and that's pretty much what we do when we develop apps. We first of all we design a very good user interface, and we ask the customer and the users what do they want and what goals are they trying to achieve. And then we see what APIs are there that we can use to facilitate those to facilitate those needs. And sometimes we also need to develop new APIs, and those APIs are going to be the same. So it's going to be websites for computers. So pretty much that sums it up for pretty much the 90% of the use cases.